Hi everyone, this is the introduction to the tripod and how to mount the camera on it. Now right here are 3 different legs. Each leg has 2 different extensions on it, as we can see by each clip. And in the middle here is what we call the riser or the spreader. So I'm just gonna start and set this up. So usually we spread the legs out to get it down. Now I'm just gonna start unclipping each one of these. Raise each leg. I'll just extend the first one just to get an eyeball for length. And once each leg is down, I'm gonna reclip. And there we have set. Now I'm gonna start by leveling the back. So if you wanna bring the camera around here, and we're gonna show the back level. So right here, you'll see a little yellow circle with fluid in it. There is a small bubble in the middle. This is how we learn how to level the head. So down here, we're gonna unscrew it, and it gets this all nice and loose. And what we're gonna do is put this bubble right in the middle of this black line. So right about here is how we level it. Now let's start showing the other parts of this tripod before we do anything with the camera work. Right here is our handle, which allows us to move this up and down. Now I'm not gonna really do this because it's not loose enough and we could cause camera breakage. But here is like a thumb latch that basically, when we loosen it, it allows us to move our handle up and down. We basically level it with the teeth right here. So it allows us to move this back up and down. And we screw this back on to tighten it. Over here, it allows us to tilt our camera. So if I move it this way, we can easily tilt this up and down. And on the other side, if you want to bring the camera around here, there is a dial here that says fluid drag system. Basically allows us to change our friction back and forth between letting this pan really easily. If I turn it this way, you'll see we have a lot more fluidity versus if I go this way. It allows it to kind of do this bounce thing. Now we don't want it this way, so we're going to turn it the way, so it's less likely to do that bounce. We have more friction, and I will turn the lock back on the other way. So now, nice and steady, no movement. In the middle here, this latch allows us to pan. So if I turn it, get a little loose, we're able to pan around. And then you see this red collar here, it basically does the same exact thing this dial does, just with the pan. So if I turn it this way, allows less friction, more ways to move it. If I turn it the other way, this way, you'll see a lot more friction, a lot less easy for it to move around. So I will put this back this way. Now, if we come up to our head up here, we have a little latch, thumb latch again up here. If I unscrew this top, it's right over here. It allows us to move our plate. Now, this won't release the plate right away. It just allows us to move it. So say our camera is really heavy on the front, we move it back more. We can also move it up more this way, but that allows us to loosen it up for release. And then there's this little back release button. If I press it in, we can remove it. And then on the back here, you'll see that it says lens right here. That's where our camera lens is supposed to face. This is how we know this is facing forward. And if I come over here to our camera, you'll see our camera on the bottom here has two different holes. One which allows us to screw one in, and one for our copper rod, which is spring loaded, which basically allows us to level it out. Now what we want to do is take this screw, and there's also a back rubber stopper here. It keeps our screw in, but if we take it off, we can take this screw off, change it for different screws. But I'm gonna hold this here, level this up. Basically, we're going to screw this nice and tightly in. There we go. Now usually to tie it in tighter, we would take the head of a key, the side, and get it nice and tight in there, but not too tight so we're able to unscrew it again. But for now, we're just gonna keep it for here since we're just demonstrating how to take this on and off. And we're probably gonna take the camera head off as quickly as we end the video. But now we have this nice and tight on. Ooh, that comes off quick. We're gonna just put that back on. And now we can come back over here. You'll see different groove lines. And what we're gonna do is put this down, slide it right on, and you'll hear that click. That means this is on. You'll see camera ain't going anywhere. So we're gonna come here, and right down here is when we're gonna tighten our screw. And now it's nice and tight in. And that's how we put our camera on our tripod and all the different parts. And thanks for watching.